Hello, brothers and sisters, and welcome to another time of Bible teaching. Actually, we're looking at some of these events in the world today, but a Bible thrown in. I recently did a teaching about war in Israel, how we're looking at Psalm 83 coming to fruition. Everything is screaming it. Psalm 83 is when the nations right around Israel will come against Israel so that the name of Israel is remembered no more. And Israel will win that war and expand its boundaries. Um, this war of Psalm 83, I showed how it happens right after the rapture. And right now, Rapture 2024, if the rapture is going to happen in 2024, it's days away because the only day the rapture can happen on is Rosh Hashanah. We don't know exactly what day that is, but we're watching for the new moon so we can narrow down those days. So there are some events that are happening that are pushing that way, that are saying that this is more and more likely to happen. To me, my biggest issue has always been Jordan, or I should say the country I look at has always been Jordan. And several of the combatants found in Psalm 83 are located in Jordan, and Jordan has had fairly good relationships with Israel for some time. You know that Jordan is the custodian of the Temple Mount, although Israel is responsible for the security. Um, with this said, it has been declining over the past over the past year with the war in Gaza, and now the war with Hezbollah, and it's definitely declining. And my understanding is that within the last 24 hours, the ground offensive has started in um, Jordan, excuse me, in Lebanon, which is interesting. Now, here's the other thing. Somebody had brought to my attention that the Secretary General of Hezbollah, who was recently killed by Israel, was very possibly a direct descendant of Mohammed. I can't prove it. I've gone online to try to find it. I trust the person that mentioned that, but I can't be sure of that. But I trust the source where I've got it from. Now, with Jordan, we have to understand that the king of Jordan is the 42nd generation direct descendant of the prophet Muhammad. So this is going to spark some serious outrage and make it more likely that this Psalm 83 war will happen. The other thing I'm hearing is just coming out of the White House now is that Iran is preparing imminent missile attacks against Israel. Now, Iran is not is not part of Psalm 83. Iran is more a part of Gog and Magog, which happens about 3 years into tribulation. But when I see this, what comes to my mind goes to Jeremiah 49. And there is a prophecy here against Elam, or a judgment on Elam. Elam is an ancient kingdom. It's part of the 70 nations, how God sees the world. That's back in Genesis 10, I believe. But it is now, this is a small area that is now part of present day Iran. And it is where the Fordow nuclear facility in Iran is located. And as we read this, the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah the prophet against Elam. In the beginning of the reign of Zedekiah, the king of Judea, saying, "Thus says the Lord of hosts." Ding, 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 ding. End times prophecy, Lord of hosts. "Behold, I will break the bow of Elam, the foremost of their might." The bow is a weapon. The foremost of its might is breaking the most formidable weapon that they have, and that would be the nuclear weapons. "Against Elam, I will bring the four winds from the four quarters of the earth." That talks about destruction coming. And scatter them towards all these winds. Or, there shall be no nation where the outcast of Elam will not go. When I read that, I'm thinking nuclear. Everything is just contaminated. Get the people out of there to some other countries where they will be safer. Anyhow, um, this just is, to me, is just an oh my goodness, wow kind of thing. If the rapture happens, Psalm 83 has to happen beforehand. This prophecy in Jeremiah, when it says the Lord of hosts, we see that in a lot of places where events take place before the rapture. It doesn't say in that day. This is the like one thing that I can't say this is definitely part of Gog and Magog. This definitely happens during tribulation. I have never been able to put a finger on this one and thought that this could be a trigger that does trigger the rest of the nations to attack. Um, and it's also the whole thing with the Secretary of General from Hezbollah, possibly being a direct descendant of Muhammad, and the leadership, the kings of Jordan being direct descendants of Muhammad, definitely makes Jordan's involvement in this more likely. And again, in order for prophecy to be fulfilled, all of the Psalm 83 nations have to attack as one. If you leave somebody out, it's not prophecy. God doesn't almost do it. He nails it when it comes to prophecy. Thank you for watching. God bless you.